Hello everyone, and welcome back to our masterclass series here at the QA Online Academy. I'm Annie. I hope you've all been practicing your Python dictionaries from our last session. Those are absolutely vital for what comes next. Today, we are moving into the heart of programming logic, the if statement. This is where your code begins to make real-world decisions. Let's get started. Python supports the usual logical conditions from mathematics. We use these symbols to compare values: equals, not equals, less than, greater than, and their or equal to counterparts. These conditions are the primary tools we use in if statements and loops to control exactly how our programs behave. An if statement is written by using the if keyword. It's the most basic way to tell Python to execute a specific block of code, but only when a particular condition evaluates to true. Let's see this in action with our first example. Look at this example. We define two variables, a and b. We then use the if statement to test whether b is greater than a. Since a is 33 and b is 200, we know that 200 is greater than 33. Therefore, the condition is true, and Python will print b is greater than a to our screen. It's simple and logical. The if statement evaluates an expression to see if it results in either true or false. If the condition is true, the indented code block inside is executed, and the indented print statement runs perfectly. If it were false, the block would be skipped. Pay very close attention to indentation, that white space at the beginning of a line. Python relies on it to define the scope of your code. While other languages use curly brackets, Python uses this visual structure. You must use the exact same amount of indentation, typically 4 spaces, for every statement within the same block. If you forget this indentation, you will get an error. See here? Because the print statement isn't indented, Python doesn't know it belongs to the if block and raises an error immediately. Always double-check your spacing to keep your scripts running perfectly. You can even have multiple statements inside a single if block. All of them must be indented at the exact same level. In this case, if the age is 18 or older, Python will execute all 3 print statements in sequence. It's a very clean way to group actions together. Boolean variables can also be used directly in if statements, without any comparison operators. If the variable itself is true, the condition is met and the code runs. It makes your logic incredibly readable and efficient. Python is smart. It can evaluate many types of values as true or false. 0, empty strings, and none are always treated as false. Almost everything else, including negative numbers and even the string false itself, is treated as true. Understanding these truthy and falsy values is a pro skill. Now it's time for you to practice. Please open PyCharm on your computer. I want you to create a variable called number with the value 15 and write an if statement to print the number is positive if it is greater than 0. Go ahead, I'll wait 10 seconds while you solve it. Welcome back! Here is the solution. We set our variable to 15, use the greater than operator, and indent our print statement correctly. If your console output matches this, you've successfully mastered the basics of Python logic. Outstanding work! Great work today! Please practice these concepts at home and feel free to revisit previous chapters. In our next masterclass, we'll cover the else and elif statements to handle more complex logic. Subscribe to our channel, join the community, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm Annie, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye-bye!